Welcome back to Red and Blue. A federal judge in Texas today heard arguments in a case that could impact the future of a frequently used and therefore well-known abortion pill. The pill was approved by the Food and Drug Administration more than 2 decades ago. Now, medication abortions are the most common method in the United States. But a lawsuit filed by the conservative group Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine argues the FDA used a flawed process to approve the pill. CBS News correspondent Christina Ruffini joins us now outside the courthouse in Amarillo, Texas. Christina, thanks so much for being with us. Break down what happened in the courtroom today.
Today was really the hearing where it has been leading up to these arguments. For about 90 minutes, we heard from the plaintiffs, who's that anti-abortion rights Christian group that you mentioned, and they're arguing that the FDA rushed the approval of this drug that's been on the market for more than 20 years. And all the research that they went through, the FDA argues proved is safe and effective and causes less complications than other options. However, this group argues that the FDA did not properly vet it, that it poses a risk to patients and to women across the country. So they're asking this judge to basically reverse the FDA's ruling and pull this drug off the shelf, because they say they want to do it they say they want to protect women and girls who could be taking this medication. Now, the lawyers from the Department of Justice who were defending the FDA argued what I just told you, that this is a drug that has been proven safe and effective. It is the standard in most medicated abortions in the United States. It's a 2-step process, and this is the first drug of 2 that you take if you are given a prescription abortion. Now, what analysts are saying, looking at this, is the reason these groups are targeting this drug is because it is still legal by mail in states where abortion is now illegal since the overturn of Roe v. Wade. And that's something that these anti-abortion rights groups have really wanted to go after and curb. The reason we're standing here in Amarillo, Texas, is unlike other circuits. Court shopping is not something new, right? Defendants and plaintiffs always try to file their motions in jurisdictions they think will be favorable to them. Here in Amarillo, they were almost guaranteed to get Judge Matthew Kaczmarek, who's a Trump appointee who has a long history of these conservative decisions. And they knew that when they formed this coalition and filed their suit in this courthouse behind me.
Christina, that's an excellent breakdown. I really appreciate that. The implications of this would be if, in fact, the judge were to rule that this abortion pill be taken off the shelves, that would be nationwide, and I would assume that's question 1. Question 2, immediately appealed, and this would go to another venue.
It would be immediately appealed, and the DOJ said today they would ask for an immediate injunction as well until that appeal was adjudicated. The other thing we have to look at is it's not just about this case. Legal experts we've spoken to says this could really open Pandora's box and enable anyone to challenge any drug they have a moral or ethical or safety question about through the courts rather than the FDA. So then you've got jurists and lawyers fighting over the safety and a drug rather than scientists and medical professionals, which is the system that Congress, bipartisan members of Congress, have set up for the FDA to review these drugs. So if this goes through, obviously it will go to appeal. It could end up in the Supreme Court. And depending on how that ruling comes down, this could be something that we are litigating in courts all over the country. People who have problems with vaccines, people who have problems with hormone therapy for transgender individuals. This is not when judges decide their decisions, they're always saying they're doing it in a vacuum, they're doing it based on the letter of the law and their reading of the law, but that's not the reality, right? These decisions always have real-world implication, and this is one we're going to have to keep an eye out for if this case continues to go forward.
For those of you noticing the wind, I want to thank Christina Ruffini for bravely dealing with it. I lived in Amarillo, Texas for 2 years. It is a windier city by average wind speed than Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. I know that is a fact. Christina Ruffini,